Salute to everybody. We live. Just gonna give it a minute or two for people to get in. We're gonna talk about these Genesis predictions for URL, uh, and a few things surrounding the whole Genesis idea, so on and so forth. Uh, excuse me. Um, so for those who are unaware, this Genesis card is gonna be Genesis. Think about that. It's gonna be the beginning of the whole caffeine URL on caffeine thing. Um, it's supposed to be free. It's supposed to be free on the caffeine app. Why am I? There's no pay per view. That's the point. There's no pay per view. It's free on the app. But what happens is you have to be watching it while it's happening. Because if you don't see it while it's happening, the, there's no VOD. The rest is gonna go on the app, and you know how it is with URL. You don't know when they're putting it on the app. These are app-only events that they don't even put. They'll put one battle at a time throughout whenever they feel like it. So, which is another reason why I haven't bought the app. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Um, I want to pull up the card. The other thing that everybody has to know too is that um it's only been some battles that's been announced, but if you look at the flyer, it'll say on there more to be announced. Now I don't know, maybe you guys may or may not know something. I don't know. Maybe they have announced stuff in the last few hours, but to my knowledge, they haven't. The other thing is, I've seen people on social media talking about it. This event is supposed to be, you're supposed to be able to get free into the venue if you are a app. It's supposed to be a way to reward the people who have the app. So you're supposed to be able to get in free if you have the app. The problem is they haven't announced, not even to the app users, to my understanding. They haven't even announced to them where this event is going to take place. So again, I see people frustrated. I see people upset about it, and I understand that because it's happening Saturday. It's in Atlanta, and you want to be able to make your arrangements, but there's no arrangements to be made. I do think that's kind of foul, man. I think that's kind of foul, but hey, it is what it is. I'm gonna pull up this card right now, and we'll talk about it. So I'm typing in tickets. I just want to see what comes up for it, if at all. I see something on Reddit, but it's not. It's just yeah. Anything else coming up for Genesis is a music thing. It's not has nothing to do with URL. All right, so that's what's coming up on that. Um, like I said, we just gonna get into the card. I don't see any tickets. I don't see any extra information. Um, so again, we'll just get into the card. All right. Uh, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, it's a great time to. More than likely, you did subscribe. That's why you got the alert. But all right. So it's going down Saturday. Now, the issue is we already know. I mean, I didn't think it was cool at all. But in Atlanta, you also have the RBE event going on that day. Um, you have to pay to get into the RB thing. If you have the app, you don't have to pay to be in the URL thing. But again, they have not mentioned any address, any name of a venue, anything like that. To my understanding, this is supposed to be happening at a studio. Um, that might be a part of the caffeine situation, or I mean, who knows? I don't really know. I'm only going off same inside so-called insiders that y'all probably seeing all through social media. Uh, so again, it says more to be announced. I haven't heard any other battles announced. So let's start with Arsenal versus T Top. I actually like this matchup, and that's also because there's a little more history to it, but not a negative history, to my understanding. But T Top was on before he was on URL, or around the time he got with URL. I believe it was before he was on URL. He did a battle over in for UW. I believe he was part. I forgot who it was he battled, but he was part of like the up and coming guys. Now, rumor was, and again, I don't know that this is a negative rumor. I don't know if this is just what it is, because I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But supposedly that battle, the people who did that battle paid for their slots, so they paid to be able to battle on that platform, UW at the time, which at the time UW was throwing these big events. Now, again, I don't know that's 100% the truth. I'm just going off what I remember about the situation. Um, so again, T Top battled over there. He had a good showing, and that's when the world was exposed to T Top. Was around that time he battled on UW. He did the battle against City Towers that was put on the URL channel, so on and so forth. T Top was just getting crazy, and he definitely became one of my favorites. Arsenal, we already know Arsenal's gonna take this angle. There's been a lot of controversy, and we don't know what's true and what isn't about the whole thing with T Top's kid's mother. That's one of Arsenal's favorite topics to be attacking and addressing at any time. So expect that to be an angle, a big angle that he's gonna use on this. You guys shouldn't expect anything less. T Top, he's more and more better and better and better and better at taking angles. T Top might arguably be, or maybe should be in most people's top 5 if you're into that. Like if taking angles and stuff mean that much to you, then T Top has to be in the top 5 of that. Not to mention the other bars. So what we're gonna hear from Arsenal. You're gonna talk about T Top kids' moms. You're gonna talk you're gonna talk about that Summer Impact fight that happened on the stage and all that. You're gonna hear all that from Arsenal. Like, that's a fact. You know that. But with that said, man, I'm gonna go with T Top 2-1. I think T Top is overall a better battle rapper than Arsenal. Overall, I think there's so much things that he does better than Arsenal, and with Arsenal we're gonna get the same thing over and over again. The same Arsenal we've been seeing for years. Ifka, enough. Sorry, the dog is over there. It's way too windy outside to let the dog out. So, let's go to the next battle on the card. John the Don versus Chess. Here's the thing. Chess is coming off an incredible year and an incredible resurgence. But he's going against somebody who is damn near impossible to clearly beat. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anybody who's clearly who's beat John. The only person I know who clearly beat John is because the battle was judged was Latazay. And in the rematch, I believe John won the rematch. I'm not sure. But these were judge battles that happened on Grind Time. You don't know what I'm talking about? Take a second to go watch those. You won't be disappointed. John and Latazay battles were dope. And that's why I hope that one day we can get the third battle, man. That would be so fire, in my opinion. John doesn't get the credit he deserves, man. He just really doesn't, man. And second off, salute to him. Congratulations. He just had a baby, a healthy baby. God bless. You know what I'm saying? Blessings to the family. But again, Chess is incredible. Chess can do so much, man, with that resurgence that, he just elevated so much, man. And last year was just so great for him. I still don't think that's enough for him to beat John. Can he win? Can Chess win this battle? Yes, of course he can. But I got John. I'm gonna say John 2-1. I wouldn't be surprised if every round is pretty close. But I think John could take this battle. I also think that this is one of those battles that people could be sleeping on. Because when I compare what people are talking about on social media and compare it to these other battles on this card, this seems to be the least talked about battle, and I don't understand that. I'm saying I don't understand that because I think it's a good matchup. But I got John taking that 2-1 in a close battle. Next on the list we have Rum Nitty versus Jerry West. I love this matchup. Listen, Jerry West, I've been telling y'all for a long time how dope Jerry West is, and it's so cool to me to see that people are finally seeing the light on that. You know what I'm saying? Jerry West been putting on for a whole lot of years besides what you've seen on URL. We Go Hard, pause, you know what I'm saying? He's been putting on. The dude been good, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when I look at this matchup of Rum Nitty arguably in terms of active battle rappers, guys who are active right now, guys who, Rum Nitty might be in the top 5 right now. And that's really going to be really hard for anybody to argue that point. Rum Nitty is absolutely insane. I want to see Rum Nitty in Hollow, but that's a story for another day. Jerry West, what can Jerry West possibly do to beat Rum Nitty? What can he do? The only thing I can honestly think that gives him the edge is that Jerry West does a lot of stuff for show. He's a showman. The dude got bars, flow, so many things, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I think that him and Rum Nitty's gonna actually be a dope battle, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna edge Rum Nitty on this, and I know some of y'all gonna be saying like, "What you talking about an edge?" Yeah, because let's really look at it bar for bar. Let's look at all the things that goes into a battle. I understand Rum Nitty's the bigger name, and he's the guy that everybody loves, and rightfully so. Rum Nitty says some shit that you question, how did that guy even think of that? How? But Jerry West is pretty good too, and like I said, he has other things that aligns him up with that, man. And honestly, I think this is gonna be the best battle with the card. That's just my opinion. I would not be shocked by that. In fact, like I said, I really think that that's what's gonna happen. This is gonna be the best battle on the card, in my opinion. I could definitely see the replay value on this battle being just crazy. So we talked about Rum and Jerry West. Salute to Jerry West, man, for the incredible performances he's been putting on. Salute to him to get to this point. Salute to him to even get in this battle. Salute to Rum Nitty for taking this battle. And this is just a great look, you know what I'm saying, overall for him, man. So we talked about Rum and Jerry West. We talked about Arsenal T-Top. We talked about John and Chess. What he said, I say Rum has a lot of time on his hands to think of that crazy stuff he says. I agree, man. And the thing is, it's the way he delivers it too. You know what I'm saying? That makes it, in a lot of ways, the way he delivers it is how he sells that bar. Some of the bars you think about and you like, when you think of some of it, you like, yeah, that's cool. But when you hear him say it, like if you see somebody tweet it or something, you like, that was. When you hear him say it the way he delivered, you like, yo, first off, how did he think about that and how crazy that bar was? Shook the room with that shit. You know what I'm saying? He's fired. Charlie Clips versus K-Shine. Harlem. If you don't know, I'm from Harlem. So every time I see my Harlem brethren on the card, man, I'm happy. Rum shows the levels in writing. I agree. Is that David Rubin? Salute, sir. Charlie Clips. I think Charlie Clips, in my opinion, in the last few years, all right, so he had a dope showing against Shuni. But I think sometimes he doesn't feel challenged. From my understanding, I heard he had a good battle with JC. I'm glad they rematched it because the first one was just a one rounder that happened on Black Ice. And that's a debatable. Most of the time I got JC taking that. I watched that battle a lot of times. But like 1 minute you think it's Charlie Clips and it's JC. So for them to do 3 rounds after that, I was happy about that. But the thing is, sometimes people are just questioning Charlie Clips' motivation. Is he just so much, and rightfully so stuck on what he's doing while and now that he doesn't care about battle rap no more? He doesn't have the hunger for it, so on and so forth. I mean, any of these things is a viable reason. But again, I thought versus Math, he was cool. I think Math edged that battle. JC, I didn't see that battle against Shuni. He was no, not Shuni. I'm saying Shuni Farah. Farah Funeral. Shuni Red battle. That battle was dope. He cannot, and we say this all the time. Charlie Clips is an incredible guy, talented guy, very smart, very funny guy. But you know you can't go up there playing around with no killer. And K-Shine is a killer. And K-Shine been on an absolute tear. Absolute tear. K-Shine is, and in my opinion, K-Shine beat Rum Nitty as well. The argument can be made that K-Shine probably hasn't lost a battle in a long time. The argument can be made. Bottom line, we're putting both these guys together. Overall, as a battle rapper, overall, can you really say one is really that much better than the other? I don't think so. That becomes a preference thing. You know, what kind of style do you prefer to watch? But can you put them side to side and say one is clearly better than the other? I don't think so. But when I sit there and I think about it, who is the more consistent guy? Who is the guy who comes with some crazy ass bars with a flow? And listen, I'm going with K-Shine. I think K-Shine's gonna take this battle 2-1. It's another battle that is like, can this be a clear win? Can K-Shine go up there and clearly not only beat Clips, but can he whip Clips ass? I know I've been seeing more promo from K-Shine. He seems a little more motivated. But it doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen. We've seen guys promo like crazy, get up there and get their ass whipped something awful. Anyway, I'm taking K-Shine on this. I'm going to say K-Shine 2-1. I don't know. I just don't. I definitely don't think Clips can clearly beat K-Shine. That's just my opinion. I don't think he's capable of doing it clearly. At this point, I'm talking about. Not that he's not talented enough. I'm saying at this point, battling the K-Shine that's been battling recently, can he clearly beat K-Shine? I don't think so, man. I think Shine has a better chance of clearly beating Clips. But I'm going with Shine 2-1. I'm just going to read some of what they say in the chat. David Rubin said you should do these with the union. Yeah, man. I mean, that's always been our plan, but it's hard, you know, scheduling wise to get us all together to do it. But who knows? Maybe tonight we can do it. I don't know. I'm gonna reach out to the guys. David Rubin said DNA losing 3-0 in this battle. Oh my God! So you insinuating that DNA's writing for either Clips or K-Shine? Or both? The last battle I see on this card, but again, it says more to be announced, so I don't know if, you know, but what they have on here is NJT versus Geechee Gotti. I mean, who knows, man? Who really knows? And that's one thing I hate about battle rap. And we got 2 of them guys on this card, arguably 3 of these guys on the card. Shit, maybe even 4. Well, you have to sit there and question what battle rap, what version of them is going to show up to this event. I hate that. And I'm talking about NJT. I'm talking about Charlie Clips. I'm talking about Chess, even though he's been more consistent lately. You don't know, you know, the choking and all that. And Arsenal. Those are guys, a lot of times you find Arsenal a little less than the rest of them. I don't know if it's that fair to say that about Arsenal. But for me, it's like Arsenal got that repetitive shit all the time. I feel like every single round, I'm 95% of the rounds I've ever heard from Arsenal sound like the same shit he just spit before. Like it's repetitive shit all the time. We do have occasional moments where he shows up, show out. I thought he was dope against Chess. Anyway, so we got a number of guys here. Charlie Clips is definitely at the top of that list of guys that you just don't know what version of them is going to show up, and I hate that shit. Do I want to believe that NJT is going to show up and be the full version of himself against Geechee Gotti? Yes, I would like to say that, but it's not true. It's not true. Geechee, we know, is consistent. We know everything that Geechee brings to the table. You can't show up there and half-ass it. I thought NJT was going to show up 100% prepared for Calico. We seen how that shit turned out. And Calico's third was just as bad as well. Horrible. I don't even know if he had a third. And I hate saying that about Calico, but it's just the truth. I think Geechee Gotti is also one of the guys who's incredibly well-rounded. I think the guy can take angles. I think the guy has the jokes, the bars, and as most people say, the believability. To me, I don't think that this is something I have to break my head about. I got Geechee Gotti and arguably 3-0. Now, whether it be a what they call a gentleman's 3-0, which is just edging on 3 rounds, or a body bag 3-0, that's gonna depend on NJT, and that's not cool to say. And we gotta worry about you choking or jerseying out, or whether or not you even showed up, or you went and prepared the day before, a few hours, and then people 1 minute they're killing them for it, next minute, if he got a haymaker or two, everybody's going wild over it. That's just too many factors for me to have to worry about, for me to consider who I believe will win or lose this battle. And that's why, again, I'm just saying, I think Geechee Gotti will win this clearly. I just think there's a chance to either be a gentleman's 30 or a body bag 30. And that's where it's up to NJT. All right, those are my predictions. Again, if you want me to run through them, I got T-Top beating Arsenal. I got Rum Nitty beating Jerry West. I got John beating Chess. I got K-Shine beating Charlie Clips. And I got Geechee Gotti beating NJT. Now, I need y'all get in the comment section. Let me know who y'all thought won. Who are your predictions? David Rubin said, nah, they just going to clown them a little. Yeah, I agree. I think they both going to have some bars for DNA. Get in the comment section. Let me know who you got winning. What is your reasons for having them winning? Don't just say, oh, I got K-Shine. Now, I want to hear from you. Let me know why you think K-Shine is going to take this. Do you think he do you think a body clips? That's really my question for y'all. If anybody has heard anything about the potentially any other battle being put on this card, I got a feeling there is not, but let us know. The other thing is, they said for the cards that they got lined up, supposedly when it comes to them streaming on the Caffeine, which I'll be doing soon, but when it comes to the streaming on the Caffeine, from what I'm understanding, they're only gonna be streaming the day of the event, right? Again, there's no VOD, but supposedly, let's just say there's 6 cards on the battle. Supposedly, on the 6 battles on the card, supposedly they're only gonna stream for free 3 of them. Now, I don't know how true this is. I'm only telling y'all what's been said, what's been posted, so on and so forth. That's the way things are gonna be. So I don't know if they're gonna show all these battles. I think they're gonna show all these battles because it's the first time they're doing it on Caffeine. So I would think this would be the smart thing to stream them all. But don't be shocked if they don't. Just have that in the back of your mind. Hey, they might not be showing all of these. If you are, and I am, I'm buying the RB stream. If you are buying that stream, then that doors open at 1 o'clock for that. The battles may be starting at 2 o'clock. I'm not 100% sure. To my understanding, the URL thing is supposed to be starting at 5 or 6 o'clock. I would imagine they're gonna be more timely, being that they're on that Caffeine app. You still have time to watch a bunch of RBEs, and if you want to split time, then go watch the URL live, because you can always watch the VOD for the RBE. You know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to figure that out and it hasn't crossed your mind, then there go the information. Supposedly, the URL event is supposed to be between around 5 or 6 o'clock starting. The RBE event is supposed to, doors open at 1. I'm assuming the battles might start at 2, maybe 3. So again, you can watch some of these battles from RBE. Remember, those are 10 battles on RBE. 2 of them are on-site VOD only. So keep that in mind as well. And remember, you can just go watch your URL, and you can always come back to the RBE live, or you can come back and watch the VOD a few hours later. You know what I'm saying? Whichever way it goes for you. Or if you're an app user, you can sit around and wait till they throw them on the app. That's what you're paying for. So that's within your right, whichever way. Listen. we have a lot of other guys in media, Math. We got A Verb. We got a few of these guys coming out with their own platforms, battle rap platforms, where they're, they're reaching out to the podcasting, so to speak, or content creating, whichever way. I say support these guys, man. A lot of these guys have been phenomenal. K Shine, he announced on Twitter he's gonna have to go away for a little while. I don't think it's gonna be a long term thing, but he has a new song out called Fiji. The song is absolutely fire. You go check that out. I'm assuming it's on all platforms, but I know for sure it was on the. I saw somebody tweet out the Apple link for it. So go check that out. And share this content, man. Let's show love to the guys who's been putting on for us for so long. All right. Thank you all for rocking with me. Salute. I hope you have a great day. And look out either tonight or tomorrow. I'm gonna drop the second part of my interview with Floss the Boss, talking about the RBE upcoming card, so on and so forth. All right. Salute.